Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this earth of ours. It's Geaux Stros. Got game 3 coming up in just a moment. Astros versus Mariners. The series is tied 1-1. First game was taken 4-3 by the Mariners. Game 2 was taken 2-1 by the Astros in 12 innings. That game was pretty exciting yesterday. It wound up going over 3 hours, and it was really something else. Today, really looking forward to the Astros doing some damage from the plate for a change. Let's look for the Astros to try to get 7 runs today. Altuve is going to be leading off as usual, but he's in a DH spot, so he's going to get a break in the defensive area for now. He's going to be followed by Paredes at the second slot, then Alvarez, Walker, Pena, Caratini, who's catching today, Rogers, Myers, and Cam Smith batting last. Luis F. Castillo is on the mound for the Mariners, getting ready to deliver the first pitch here in just a moment. Thank you for being here. Altuve's at the plate. Here's the first pitch. It's a little low. Good take. 92 miles an hour. Ball 1. That one was just a couple inches off the ground. Altuve batting .340. Little high. Ball 2. Good take again. First pitch was low. Second pitch was high. 2 balls and no strikes against my hero Altuve. I had to pack up my Astros shirt today because I'm taking it with me on a trip. 91 miles an hour on the top of the zone. That would be strike 1. So I'm wearing my orange shirt with my Astros hat instead. Here's the 2-1 pitch. He bounces that one straight to third, and that's going to be an easy play, it looks like. And it is. That's out number 1. Easy bouncer. That's it for Altuve, out number 1. Nothing doing there for Tuve. That brings up Isaac Paredes, who's at third base, batting second. Here is the pitch. Fouled back. That was a 93 mile an hour pitch. 4-seam fastball. He's batting .216 for the season. He managed to pull his average up under 100. He skies this one out. Wow, he got so far underneath it. If he had straightened that out, it would have been gone for sure. But as a result, he just hit it way up there. Look at that. Man, that was a monster hit. But unfortunately, just way too high. That was a home run waiting to happen. 2 away. Alvarez comes up to the plate, still looking to get over 200 on his average. First pitch, slider, too low and inside. Ball 1. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a changeup on the outside lower corner. Jordan went after it, couldn't connect. Count is even, 1-1. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Ooh, that barely missed. Just below the zone, ball 2. Good take by Alvarez. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 10th pitch of the inning for Castillo. Another slider, low and inside, taken for ball 3. Here's the next pitch. That one's hit hard to right center, but the center fielder is over. He's going to get that no problem, and that's going to be out number 3. 3 up and 3 down, but the Astros are hitting the ball. Altuve grounding out. Paredes hitting a a towering shot to left field, flying out. And then Alvarez flying out to center, right center. But they're getting the bat on the ball. No strikeouts. That's what I like to see. I'd rather see them hitting the ball way out in the outfield than striking out. Can't complain too much about those at-bats since they're hitting the ball. We're going to go into the bottom of the first. Score 0-0 with no hits. Let's take a look and see if anybody's in the live stream. Hey, checking in from NOLA. Hey, Bubba. I meant to ask you yesterday, are you in NOLA because you live there? Or are you just visiting? And if you're visiting, how's the food? It's one thing that I really miss about being in Louisiana is the food. The food is actually too good. I feel that that's one of the main reasons why Americans can get so much bigger than most Asians, is because of the amount of food that's available there. We have everything. Let me go grab my hot water. I'll be right back. Okay, Hunter Brown is on the mound. He's already got one strike, and that next pitch right in the top of the zone, but looks like the umpire's going to lay off, and he does. It's 1-1 against Julio Rodriguez, the leadoff batter for the Mariners. 97-mile-per-hour fastball from Hunter Brown right there. Fouled away for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I moved as quickly as I could, and I still didn't get back for that first pitch from Brown. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Here comes a pitch from Brown. Fouled off again. That's a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. I think I can fix my camera a little better than that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch from Brown. Right in there, 97 on the inside corner, fouled off again. Rodriguez hanging in there. Count still 1-2. See if Hunter Brown can skate this one by Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. Fouled back again. 97-mile-per-hour sinker. Holy cow. I got my almond milk to put inside my coffee. I'm not doing sugar these days, so also trying to make my coffee healthier. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Wow, Rodriguez gives that one a rip. Another one that's foul, but that one was launched into the third base side crowd. Count remains 1-2. Here's the 8th pitch. 97-mile-per-hour high check swing by Rodriguez. He holds up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, there we go. 98 miles an hour. He finally burned it by him. That'll be a strikeout. Leadoff strikeout for Hunter Brown. Let's see if we can take a look at that. Yeah, there we go. Just a quick glimpse of that. Jorge Polanco comes up to bat. First pitch to him is a little high, 87 mile per hour changeup, ball one. Polanco through 7 games is batting .417. Sounds like Altuve. He hits it to right field. It's kind of shallow. Cam Smith comes in and makes the play, no problem. Out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. I'm trying to find a way to get this camera out of my way. It's kind of blocking my view a little bit. There we go. I think right there is where I want it. We'll see. Is that okay? First pitch to Cal Raleigh is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, that's okay. I can leave it there. Camera's all right. Here's the next pitch from Brown. 1 ball, 1 strike. 96 mile per hour fastball fouled away by Raleigh. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Brown. 97, swing and a miss, man. Just blew it by him. Look at this. Woof. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. 98. Again, right in the top of the zone, but fouled off by Raleigh. Hunter Brown just trying to blow it by him, but this is going to be his 16th pitch of the inning. I like to see the Astros get out of the inning with about 12 pitches or less. Here is the 1-2. Knuckle curve hit into left field. Looks easily playable by Alvarez, who's out there today. And he grabs it. Out number 3. 3 up and 3 down for both pitchers, but Hunter Brown gets a K. We're going to move into the top of the second. No hits and scoreless through 1 inning. Boom, boom, boom. That made me think of that really old song from the 80s. Do you guys remember that? Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room. Oh, man. That's not why I said boom, boom, boom. I said that because of out 1, out 2, out 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to inning 2. That doesn't rhyme. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to be able to come up with anything like that at 5 o'clock in the morning. I had to get up about 4:45 to try to get prepared for this game today. After this game is finished, I have to finish packing my bag, and I'm going to go catch a bus for about an hour and a half to Hiroshima City. From there, I've got a doctor's appointment. And since my insurance has been canceled for whatever reason, I might not be able to actually attend my appointment. I might have to cancel it. So I'm going to the hospital early to talk to the counselor, my hospital counselor, see what's going on. If they haven't got it figured out, then I'm going to have to cancel my appointment. And then After that, I'm going to relax in the evening over at the hotel. There's a capsule hotel. If you don't know what a capsule hotel is, it's a small space where you sleep. It's not really that small though. It's just, it is like a large casket, you could say, but it's really big. Probably about 5 times the size of a casket. It's really comfortable, quiet, and cheap. Christian Walker's at the plate facing Castillo. Here's the pitch. Right in there, 93. It couldn't have been more perfect in the middle of the zone. Fastball taken for strike 1. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, that was close. Top of the zone, just a little outside. I'm sorry, a little above the zone for ball 1. Counts even. Walker batting 156, still trying to find his groove. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off. That was a 93 mile per hour fastball. After I get up tomorrow morning, I'm going to go to the high-speed train station and go out of town to go see my girl. Really looking forward to that. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Bounced foul on that 89 mile per hour changeup. Count stays 1-2. I'm still trying to get my coffee made here. Okay, it looks like it's pretty much ready. Here comes the 1-2 delivery from Castillo. Walker takes that way outside. That was about a foot outside the zone. 83 mile per hour slider, and that evens the count, 2-2. Here comes the next pitch. Another one in the almost exact same spot, but even a little further out. Another slider. Ball 3. Full count. Here comes the pitch. Did he go? Yeah, he went. That pitch was out of the zone, but Walker went around, and he knew it. That's strike 3 on that check swing. Yeah, it was pretty close. Yeah, he started taking his pads off like it was ball 4, but he knew it was a strike. So out number 1, and Pena's at the plate. That first pitch is a little low and outside. 1-0. 154. Pena also, after a hot spring training, trying to find his groove. He's not going to find it with that swing. 81 mile per hour slider outside. Strike 1 on that swing. Swing and a whiff. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. 91 mile per hour sinker. 2 balls, 1 strike. Good old Jeremy Pena. Castillo on his 22nd pitch now. That one's in the dirt. Ball 3. Pena might be able to get on here. I forgot to grab a spoon so I can stir my coffee. It's okay. Wow. I still got my coffee spoon in here. Look at that. I was prepared and I didn't even know it. I underestimated my ability to prepare. Heck yes. That's nice when that happens. Here's a 3-1 pitch from Castillo. Ooh, Pena takes that one. He almost check swing like Christian Walker did, but he was able to hold back and get a walk. So we've got our speedster, the Flash, on base. We've kind of got the DC team with Victor Caratini at the plate. Pena is the Flash. Caratini is the Batman. And the Batman is currently batting .267. He had the winning RBI last night. First pitch to him is inside for ball one. Here's the next pitch to, I almost said Walker. Caratini. That one's outside, ball two. Change up at 82 miles an hour. Two good takes by Caratini. So if we've got the DC Justice League, I wonder who the others are. Who's Superman on the Astros? Would that be Hunter Brown? 89 miles an hour, up and out of the zone. Ball three. 89 mile per hour pitch. 3-0 against Caratini. Here's the pitch. A little outside. That could have been ball four. Should have been. Called a strike by the umpire. He decided to like it. It was 2 inches off the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. And the Batman. What will the Batman do? He swings at this one. That one was on the edge of the zone. 87 mile per hour fastball. Not much on that fastball. Caratini was right for fouling it off, or right for swinging. I don't think his plan was to foul it off. Here comes the full count pitch. Nope, Castillo goes over to first. Peña's back. He thought he would catch Peña going early. But all is well. Castillo's back on the rubber. Here's the full count delivery to Victor Caratini, the Batman. Way outside and high. Ball four. He walks him. Now the Astros have runners on first and second. It looks like the pitching coach is going to come out and have a little chit-chat with Castillo. Notice how the crowd is not booing right now. Why would they boo? It's the home crowd, right? Why would they boo their own pitcher for having a meeting with the pitching coach? This is why I think it's ridiculous, though. This is not mind them loading them up for Jake Meyers. Jake Meyers has been a little hot recently. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. High fastball, 90 miles an hour. But that was a 90 mile per hour fastball. Could have been hit by Rogers, but he just couldn't get the bat on it. Completely missed. Two balls, 2 strikes to Brendan Rodgers. 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. He fouls that one off. 93 miles an hour on the inside. The count remains 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Castillo. Terrible slider way off the plate, and terrible half-hearted swing by Rogers there to go down. Strike 3, out number 2. We still got runners on first and second, waiting for another Astro to drive them in. Myers is up at the plate. He can do it. Here's the first pitch. That's hit to right field. Is it going to get down? Yes, it is. It's going to drop. Myers comes through with the single. And safe at third. Astros get 1 run. Peña scores easily. The throw gets into third too late. And Caratini gets to third. We're going to take a look at that again when they show the replay. But I told you Myers could do it. I just had a feeling he's been hot. And he did it. He came through and put the Astros on the board. Opposite field hit. It just barely dropped in there. Peña was off to the races, easily scoring. No potential for a throw. They tried to get Caratini at third, but he just barely got in there. Good job all around. I knew Myers could do it. We got runners on the corners. with 2 outs. Cam Smith comes to the plate. That ball is way inside for ball 1. How do you like that? 1-0 Astros. 6 more and we'll have our 7 runs. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Cam Smith. Ooh, you should have swung at that one. He did a little check swing. It was a little low and inside, but it was in there. The result is strike 1 and an even count. Caratini on third. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Strike 2. Good old Jake Myers. I called it, man. I knew he could do it. Now he's batting .308. How do you like them apples? Second highest batting average on the team right now behind Altuve. Here's the pitch to Smith. Cam Smith that hits to the right field. That's going to score another run. Heck yes. Back-to-back opposite field singles. Myers is the speed demon also, man. He went all the way around to third base. We've got runners on the corner still with back-to-back singles. Cam Smith comes through. Let's take a look at that. Just a line drive shot, not as high as Myers, but in the same location. Heck yes. 2-0 Astros. First pitch to my hero Altuve is a sinker called a strike 1. This is Altuve's second at bat of the game. 41 pitches now for Castillo. Come on, Altuve. Come on, man. Runners on the corners, you can do it. Ground ball to third. He dives for it and he tries to throw it to first, but Altuve's going to be safe by Altuve does it. He does it. With a hit right down the third base line, it was called fair, and the third baseman just did not have a play. He threw a Hail Mary to first base, but it just couldn't work out. And Altuve with an infield hit. He's smiling. All right, let's take a look at that. Look at that, man. He had to die for that, and there was no way for him to get Altuve. Altuve comes through. The Astros up 3-0 with 3 runs here in this inning. We got runners on first and second now with Isaac Paredes at the plate. Isaac takes strike 1. 3-0 Astros. 4 more runs and we'll have our 7. I'm liking this game. 3-0 Astros in the top of the second. They are lighting up Castillo with singles. Single, single, single. Love it. 0-1. Here comes the 44th pitch for Castillo. Ooh, way inside. Almost clipped him. Ball 1. Counts even. Man, Astros are about to... They've almost got Castillo up to an average of 25 pitches per inning. That's freaking awesome. He'll be out in less than 4 innings. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Ball 2. Good at bat by Paredes. Not swinging at these pitches. That hit by Altuve was something else, man. He can freaking hit anything. Take a look at this. Right down the line. Look at that. That was a great effort by the third baseman. But there was just no play for him. Altuve's too fast. 2 balls and 2 strikes on that foul ball. Paredes swings and fouls it off. Cam Smith on second base. Jose Altuve on first. Beautiful looking day in Seattle. Crowd is kind of minimal. Sure, they're not very happy right now, but they're going to be even unhappier when the Astros get 4 more runs. 0-1. 0 for 1 rather is Paredes, but Castillo fakes a throw to second. But Smith gets back. There's nobody there to cover. He's just messing around with him. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Paredes. He swings and it goes up the middle. Is it going to be out? He's going to be thrown out at first base. I thought that was going to be a line drive, but that was actually on the infield. It bounced to the second baseman. He threw it to first, and that's going to be it. Mariners finally get out of the inning, but not before the Astros put 3 runs on the board. Boom, boom, boom. We go into the bottom of the second. Astros up 3-0. 3 hits, 3 runs. That's the kind of ratio I like to see. If you average 1 run for every hit, that's really good. That's really good. Go Stros. Good afternoon, Stros, says Caesar. Caesar, it is really good to see you here. Thank you for being here today. It's about 5:40 in the morning here in Japan. Freaking Go Stros. I'm going to pin that at the top. I haven't done a poll in a while. I'd kind of like to do a poll. What kind of poll can I do today? How about something I'd like to know? How do you follow the Go Stros live play by play? Video. I watch the video. I just let's see. I watch the video from. Let's make it simpler. Video from PC. Video from phone. Add 2 more options. Audio from phone, and then audio from PC. Okay, there we go. Boom. I'm curious to know, because this can help me determine how best to tailor what I'm doing, you guys. 1-1 is the count already. Brown moved so fast. I missed that while I was doing the poll. He's facing Randy Arozarena, and that's strike 2. 97 right in the middle of the plate. A big swing and miss by Arozarena. If Arozarena became like a legendary player, maybe they would change the name of the stadium to Aroz Arena. Huh? Ball 2. That was such a terrible joke. We are in Seattle at Aroz Arena. That'd be a strange name for a baseball park. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Brown. Swinging a foul ball, 95, low and inside. How did he get the bat on that one? Count remains 2-2. Hunter Brown about to toss his 22nd pitch of the game. Here it comes. Whoa, way up and inside. Rosarino was on the plate. He had to kind of duck out of the way of that one. Full count. Here comes the next pitch from Brown. That one's right in there. Grounded to Pena, who has to grab it on the run and fire over. He makes the play. Good job by Pena with that running catch and throw. And that'll be out number 1. Good job. Good play. Nice fundamental defensive baseball play. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Philip, good to see you. Let's go, Stros, Astros. Yes, absolutely. At first pitch to Luke Riley is a little low for ball 1. That was really close. Really close. Lefty at the plate. Here comes the next pitch from Brown. Right in there, and he swings and fouls it off. 96 mile per hour. Heater. 1-1. You know, guys, there's so much I wish I could share with you. So much going on right now here. Just no time to do it during these games. Swing and a miss. Knuckle curve, 83 miles an hour. That was a dirty pitch. Look at that. Whew. Man, I had to show you that. That was just too good. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Brown. Here's the next pitch. Way high on that one. Ball 2. 2-2. You could say that for those of you who are familiar at all with some Asian cultures, there's this really common thing of declaring your love or professing your love to the other person. Have you ever heard of that? Fouled back by Raleigh. Knuckle curve, 82 miles an hour. Count remains 2-2. Mariners still hitless. Hunter Brown torching the glove of Victor Caratini right now. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's in the dirt, and he goes around it. Oh, no. They say he didn't go around. That's ball 3. Man. Caratini was on top of that, though. He made a great catch. He scooped it up and tagged him really quick. And they petitioned to third base, but they said, nah, he didn't go around. So there's going to be another full count here for Hunter Brown. Here comes the delivery. Right down the pipe. Backhanded by the second baseman, Brendan Rodgers. He makes a terrible throw. What a grab by Christian Walker to get the out. Holy freaking cow. The defense. The defense. I know they're going to show that again. We got to see that again. Brendan Rodgers with a great catch. And then the difficult throw. But Walker makes the catch. Look at this. How beautiful is this? Look at that. Whoa. How in the world did they do that? Love that, man. We got golden glovers out here. Out number 2. Heck yes. Strike 1 delivered to Hunter Brown, from Hunter Brown to Rowdy Tellez. Or Tellez. He's a big guy. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, 97, right in the top of the zone, called strike 2. 0-2 with 2 outs and nobody on. Brown trying to pick up another strikeout here. Here comes the pitch. That was more than a foot outside. Ball 1. Luis Castillo pitched last night. This is a different one. Philip, this is a different one. That's hit to the left side. Another diving catch by Pena. Oh, was it Pena? Man, another great defensive play by the Astros. Look at that. No, that wasn't Pena. That was Isaac Paredes. Man, Paredes with the diving catch on that opposite field hit. And he fires it over to first to get the out. Man, the Astros are looking freaking awesome. Their gloves right now are like magnets or vacuum cleaners. They're just sucking it up. Out number 3. Holy freaking cow, man. Love that. 2 innings gone. We're going into the top of the 3rd. The Astros up 3-0. Hunter Brown with no hits. No runs. Looking solid on both ends of the ball right now. Golden gloves in the field. Hunter Brown sitting batters down left and right. Astros hitting the ball, scoring runs. Heck yes. Let's see here. Philip, the pitcher is Luis F. Castillo. Maybe I should change that on the screen just so we're not confused here. I think maybe I used the wrong image on the screen. Maybe that's what you're looking at. Yeah, I used the wrong image on the screen, but I will correct that. Luis F. Castillo is a different guy. Let me find his image. They don't have it on the website, so Luis F. Castillo. There it is. Save image. Opponent. Mariners. Luis F. Castillo. I appreciate you mentioning that, because even though I did have the name right, I didn't have the image right. Luis F. Castillo. There we go. Now I got it right. Uh-oh. How do you like that? Jordan gives it a ride on the very first pitch. Way out to the warning track, but caught. That's going to be out number one. Oof, man. He's hitting the... Had the game going live for so long. I can't be doing that. I'll get a copyright ownership by MLB if I leave that going for too long. Fouled off a... No, not fouled off. That was a ball. Every time I switch screens, it seems that he throws a pitch before I get back. It's 2-1. That's the count. Here comes the pitch outside. 3-1. There's one out. Nobody on. Philip says, all good, bro. I thought I was tripping. I did too there for a second. There's a walk. Christian Walker lives up to his name, and he walks. He's a walker. Yeah, they're making the same joke. The other commentators are making the same joke that I've made a couple of times before. Christian Walker, he's a walker. We have us a runner on base. First base with one out. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. He's got a walk and a run today. He hits it up the middle. He's got himself a base hit. So a run, a walk, and a hit for Jeremy Pena today as he goes after that first pitch and hits it right up the middle. Runners on first and second. With one out. Heck yes. Four hits for the Astros now. That means they need one run. The Victor Caratini Batman is at the plate. Let's see if he can do it again. 80 miles an hour outside and low, taken for ball one. You can't throw a pitch like that to the Batman. 267 right now is Caratini's batting average. Here comes the next pitch. Ooh, he swings at that one but fouls it off. 92 mile per hour fastball on the outside corner, or the outside edge rather. Astros up 3-0 here in the top of the third. Caratini had a little timeout there. He steps back into the box. Now we're ready to go. Castillo comes set, and here's the lob. Ooh, a little inside. That could have been a strike. The umpire laid off, didn't call it a strike, called it a ball. Caratini was kind of hugging the plate. Kind of fooled the umpire there, I think. Umpire calls time for a moment to get some more baseballs. What time is it in Japan? Right now, Philip, it is 5 minutes till 6 in the morning. 5:55. The sun is coming up right now. Caratini taps it to the pitcher. He's going to go to second. And he's safe. Bad throw to second base. And everyone is safe. We've got bases loaded now. That was a tapper. That was a terrible throw on that tapper. Back to the mound. Castillo throws it in the dirt. They had a chance to get a double play there, but as a result of that throw and the inability of the shortstop to catch it, we've got the bases loaded. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate with bases loaded, guys. Another opportunity for the Astros, and Brendan Rodgers has the ability to do it. That's in there for a strike, the first pitch. On that sinker. Walker, Pena, and Caratini on the bases. Brendan Rodgers at the plate. Here's the pitch. On inside, little check swing. Did he go? They say he did not. Good. 1-1. Brendan Rodgers also batting .267, similar to Caratini. He was up to like 333 for a while. He was hot. Way up and high. Ball 2. Castillo is over 60 pitches now here in the third inning. He's panting right now. He looks like he's a little winded. Here is the 2-1 pitch. Way inside. Ball 3. We are 1 ball away from getting a run walked in. And that will even it up. That'll give us the 4 hits and the 4 runs that I was talking about. 1 run for every hit. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Castillo. Rodgers lets it go, and that's ball 4. It's a little high. Wow, that was a dangerous take. 4-0 Astros. The crowd boos. You guys got to see where this pitch was located. Man, pitching coach is going back out to the mound. 4-0 Astros. Are they going to show that pitch again? I hope they do. Mariners having a little powwow again on the mound. Hey, man, what's going on with you, man? I mean, 4 runs in just a couple of innings, 3 innings? I mean, come on, what's up with that? Kind of sound like Beavis when he mutters, Beavis and Butthead. Go down here and grab this. Kind of reminds me of that. That's freaking awesome. And the man who drove in the first RBI of the game, Jake Meyers, comes to the plate. 1 for 1 today. Let's make it 2 for 2, man. You got bases loaded with 1 out. Meyers, he's got 1 grand slam in his career. How about 2, man? Meyers is on fire. He can do it. Here's the pitch from Castillo. Ooh, 89, just inside, but called strike 1. I was about to make that a ball. It's okay. You're right to take that one. It was not your pitch. Meyers waiting for his pitch. He's batting .308 right now. Here comes the next pitch. Little outside. That could have been actually called a strike on the edge of the zone, but the umpire lays off. So that makes up for the last call. 1-1 is the count. Come on, Meyers. I believe in you, man. I really do. Come on. Here's a 1-1 pitch. This one's hit hard, but foul down the first baseline and out of play. Strike 2. Man, Meyers is really making me happy right now. Can you guys imagine if the rest of the Astros start to finally come along and wake up with their bats like they have been today, and Meyers bats .300? Can you imagine a season of Jake Meyers batting .300? Holy freaking cow, that would be amazing. Here comes a 1-2 pitch from Castillo. Meyers lets that one go, and rightly so. Way outside on that slider. Ball 2. The count is even. Astros with the bases still juiced and just 1 out. Tremendous opportunity that Meyers can capitalize on right here. And here's the pitch. Fouled away again. 92 on the inside. Good swing. Ball goes flying back into the stands. Man, Meyers is trying to climb himself up to where Altuve's at. Altuve batting .347 right now. Here's the 2-2 pitch as Castillo comes set. Here's the delivery. That's bounced down to third. It might be a double play, and it is. Man, he just couldn't quite beat that out, unfortunately. If it had been a slow tapper, he would have been able to beat that because Meyers is fast. But unfortunately, the Astros only come away with 1. I'm glad that they got the run, but I'm really disappointed that they couldn't convert at least 1 more run with bases loaded and 1 out. He could have bunted the ball. I think he could have bunted the ball and had a better opportunity to score a run there. there wouldn't have been a double play. That would have eliminated the double play. Let's fucking go. Yes, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Philip says sushi for breakfast. Hey, don't laugh, man. I think for Americans, the majority of Americans, it's a little strange to think about having rice for breakfast. But I'm not kidding you. Not just in Japan, but in a lot of Asian countries, having some rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day is common. I kid you not. And when you go to the schools, and I've worked in the Japanese schools, I've worked in the Chinese schools, every single day they have rice. And this is why I tell you, I think that this is why Americans are so easy to get fat. Because not only do we have access to all international foods, every American style food, and every European style food, and South American style food, and East or Asian and East Asian style food. We have it all. We literally do. You have no idea until you go abroad just how good we have it for international cuisine. We have everything. And as a result of that, Americans don't like eating the same thing multiple times a week. Now, there are some staple foods that we can have multiple times a week. I think a lot of people will have like maybe some bacon and eggs and toast and things like that very, very often throughout the week for breakfast. But man, overall, we don't like to have the same main stuff over and over and over and over again as staples, 90 miles an hour, strike one, delivered by Hunter Brown to Dylan Moore, who's at the plate for the Mariners. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off, 95 on the inside. Strike two. Hunter Brown ahead in the count. I accidentally put a ball on the screen. That would be incorrect. Please ignore that. But anyway, I just don't understand having rice every single day, much less every single meal. Fouled off again. Count remains 0-2. Agreed. Yeah. I don't... This is probably something that most of you don't have any experience with, but I don't like it when I hear these English teachers that either are from America or they think they have some knowledge of America, and they say, all Americans do this, all Americans do that. High and outside on that fastball, ball one. 1-2. And so I'm careful with what I say about all Americans do this or that. But I would say, in my experience, the majority of Americans really like the variety. With a few things that are common, like right now I'm having coffee. I think it's very common for most Americans, or many Americans, the majority maybe, to have coffee regularly, most days, most mornings. But I feel that's understandable. Having rice every single day, every meal, I don't understand that. But obviously it's because that's what they had here. Fouled away again. 40 pitches now for Brown. Count remains 1-2 against Moore. No outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. 4 hits and 4 runs for the Astros. Nothing for the Mariners, but they do have an error. The Mariners have more errors than they do hits or runs. This is tapped up to the middle. Pena's going to have to hurry. He gets it to first after a quick little juggle with it. Good running play. And toss, just getting more. Good play. Out number 1. Astros defense on the infield. And outfield hasn't been tested, but the infield, man, they have been solid so far. That brings up the left-handed batter, Miles Mastrobuoni. Here's the first pitch to him. A little high, 96 miles an hour, ball 1. Anyway, I was just kind of saying that rice is historically the main food that's available here. And in northern areas where they don't really have the rice, historically it's noodles. That's why you have noodles and rice. It's a big thing in Asia. So, foul ball, strike 1. Rice is grown in the south. Difficult to do that. Not really possible in the north. So that's why noodles are more prevalent in northern areas. It makes sense. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's hit high to left field. Jordan is under it. He's shielding his eyes from the sun. He's barely able to get that. It looks like he was having some trouble with it, and he managed to do it. Kudos to you, Mr. Alvarez, for making that catch. That's not an easy catch to make in the sun. Two away. That brings up J.P. Crawford to the plate, another left-handed hitter. Here comes the first pitch from Brown. Swing and a miss. What a beautiful pitch there, man. I got to show that to you guys. Take a look at this swing and a miss. Man. Made him look like a fool there. Here comes the next pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. Oh, just below the zone, actually. 88-mile-per-hour changeup. He doesn't go after that one, and the count is even. 1-1. Man, it takes so long to make my coffee. I'm so distracted with the game. Opposite field hit, and that's going to be just fair and go all the way to the wall. Crawford's going to have two easy. Jordan gets out to the wall to grab it. Opposite field hit, and the first one that Hunter Brown has given up today. And that's a double. Man. 10 doubles, they said. 10 doubles for the Mariners this season. That's crazy. They were tied for the most with 9, but now they are in the lead with 10. Here's the first pitch to Rodriguez. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. That was a strike. Even the umpire at the plate knew that was a strike. 2-4 on that one. 0-1 is the count against Julio Rodriguez. Here comes a pitch from Hunter Brown. 98, just a little high. Ball 1. Next pitch will be Hunter Brown's 50th of the game. Pitching count is a little high, getting to 50 in just 3 innings. And here it comes. In the dirt, but a swing and a miss. Man. What a pitch. 92-mile-per-hour cutter. And he went after it like he really, really wanted that. But there was no way. That ball was in the dirt. Great catch by Caratini. Catching that and keeping the runner from advancing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Brown. Beautiful knuckle curve, but Rodriguez is able to foul it off. Good steaks in Japan? The answer to that question is yes and no. It depends on where you go. Because they have some steak here that is just absolutely wonderful. But you have to go to the right places and you have to spend a little money to get it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. 99 miles an hour, but about a foot above the zone. And that evens the count 2-2. I will say that there are some places where you can get some cheap steak for like $7 or $8 at these family restaurants, and they're not bad. They're not bad. But if you want a really nice steak, you're going to have to pay a little more. Strike 3. Another strikeout for Hunter Brown. He gets the swing and a miss. Whoo, how do you like that? Inside. And that's the 3rd out. Hunter Brown not being fazed by that double. And we're going to go into the top of the 4th. The Astros up 4-0. Good game so far. Mariners finally managed to get a hit with that J.P. Crawford double, that opposite field double. Kind of a fluke, a lucky little poke into left field. But the Astros with 4 hits and 4 runs through 3. Cam Smith is due up. I'm wondering if they're going to leave Castillo in the game or if they're going to pull him out. We'll find out momentarily. As I'm making my 2nd cup of coffee, this will be my weak cup. I'm using the same bag again. I discovered that if I use the same bag a second time, even though it's not as strong, doesn't taste as full and good. It doesn't give me the caffeine headache. I can drink a lot more coffee this way. I can drink a fresh cup, a weak cup. If I want, I can drink another fresh cup and another weak cup, and I don't have any issues with a caffeine headache. I'm going to just go ahead and put all of my almond milk in there. I'm not going to have another cup of coffee this morning. I'm going to be a little busy. Got to hurry up and pack the rest of my stuff up after this game. Hopefully I'll have time to go grab a little something to eat. And then I will go straight to the bus stop. They're showing a silly animated graphic of Cam Smith's triple yesterday. Pretty silly. First pitch to Smith is 92 on the inside for a strike. Cam Smith's last at bat was a single with his second RBI of his MLB career. And here's the first pitch, or the second pitch rather, way outside on that slider. Castillo's still on the mound, and that's how many pitches for him now? 72? 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Smith hits that one right up the middle, but it looks like it's going to be straight to Rodriguez in center field, and it is. He camps out underneath it and puts it away for out number 1. It's interesting that Luis F. Castillo, he pitched in Japan for a while before he came to the Mariners. Jose Altuve, my hero's at the plate. 1 for 2 today. He takes that pitch 91 in the top of the zone. Really surprised he didn't go after that one. That was a perfect one for him to rip. Strike 1. RBI single for Altuve today. Here's the next pitch. That was low and inside. I don't know why I put a ball on the screen. 0-2, he's down in the count. So he took the really nice pitch and then went after the bad pitch. But Altuve can hit anything. Let's go. That's hit hard to the left side. Crawford's going to have to hurry and make the throw. He's off the bag, but he manages to keep his foot on the bag. It was not a good throw. Altuve was almost safe on that play. But that'll be out number 2. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Castillo to him. Wow, that was crushed, but once again, foul. Paredes hits so many balls. He crushes so many balls foul. And he gets underneath the ones that are in play, and he sends them way up in the air. If he can just start straightening those out, man, he can turn those into homers. Man, sorry about that. Had to sneeze suddenly. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Come on, Paredes. 1 hit, 1 run. High and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Fouled back on a half swing by Paredes. The count remains 1-2. Let's see here. Philip says, man, I drove to Houston from Pennsylvania for Christmas. Holy freaking cow, man. Drove through Arkansas and saw rice fields, bro, all through the night. Yeah, man, Arkansas is countryside, man. Next pitch, way outside, ball 2. I've been to Arkansas several times and always had the feeling that it's just countryside. Even when you're in the city, it feels like you're in a town, right? That one's hit into right field. Is it going to drop? Yes, it does. It's fair. Holy cow. Paredes has a single on a bloop shot to right field. Man, right between the first baseman and the right fielder. He hit that one kind of sky high opposite field, but it dropped in there, and he's got himself a base hit. Well, if you can't get a big hit to left field, you might as well poke it to right field. Look at this. It just drops in right over there by the line, but he's no speed demon, so he's only able to get a single out of it. But that's nice. Yordan Alvarez comes to the plate with a runner on. Here's the first pitch. Ooh, he takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. And rightly so. It was right on the line, but it was a strike. 0 for 2 today with a line out and a fly out. Yordan has been making solid contact with the ball. Let's see if he can do something here. Again, low and outside, but that one is a ball. 1-1. Paredes on first, 2 outs. Oh, I didn't update the first base guy. There we go. Okay, now I got him on base. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Low and away again. Doesn't look like Castillo really wants to pitch it anywhere near the zone for Yordan. 85-mile-per-hour changeup. 2 balls, 1 strike. Oh, yeah, we got 5 hits. We need 2 more runs. Yordan could fix that stat right now with a homer. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Oh, swing and a miss below the zone. That was not a good pitch. It was a good pitch for Castillo, but a bad pitch for Yordan to be swinging at. 85 pitches now through 4 innings for Castillo. Here comes the 86th. 2-2. Hit hard. Wow. Yordan got around on that one way too early. That was an 80-mile-an-hour slider, and he sent it flying out into the first base side crowd. Castillo probably breathing heavily right now. Oh, the umpire came out. The umpire gave a ball on the pitcher because the pitcher came ready before Yordan was ready. So the count is now 3-2. Full count on Yordan. Pretty interesting. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Well, hang on a second. He's off the mound. Now he's back on the rubber. He gets the call. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Yordan goes opposite field, and that's a base hit. Paredes is not going to be able to... Oh, he is. Paredes does get to third base. Man, he's on it. Opposite field single for Yordan Alvarez on that full up count. And Paredes gets all the way to third. Man, that guy was hightailing it. Good for you. He was off to the races on that full count pitch. And it was just a good hit by Yordan opposite field. Boom. There we go. Runners on the corners. We have a runner in scoring position now with 2 away. And that brings up Christian Walker. Walker goes after the first pitch, a 92-mile-per-hour sinker way inside. Nothing doing there. Only Altuve can hit a pitch like that. Strike 1. Here comes the next pitch. That one's inside, and he swings again, this time fouling it off. Quickly 0-2. 2 inside pitches, 2 swings. A swing and a miss, and a foul ball. The 90th pitch coming up for Castillo in just a moment. Come on, Walker. Bring another run home. Let's plate another run or 2 or 3. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball 1. I will say, though, that, you know, even though Walker's batting average right now is abysmal, it's 152, his patience at the plate is not bad. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's in the dirt. The runners are going. Yordan has a stolen base as that ball bounces to the backstop. He picked the right one to run on. Yordan Alvarez with a stolen base. How do you like that? And that ball bounced on the catcher. Take a look at this. He just happened to go at the right time because that ball bounced in the dirt and the catcher couldn't handle it. Man, Jordan super lucky. Christian Walker fouls off the next pitch. The count remains 2-2. Now we have 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. It's too much. Come on, Walker. Let's empty the bases right here. Oh, no. Castillo steps off the rubber. 6 hits for the Astros. 4 runs. 1 swing could give the Astros 3 more runs. And they'd have 7 hits and 7 runs. That'd be nice. Here's the next pitch. Up and in. They're going to call ball 3. Whew, that was close. That was like right in the corner of the zone. The coach for the Mariners complaining about that. The umpire is giving him a warning to be quiet. Full count. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off again by Walker. Walker stays alive. 92-mile-per-hour sinker right in the zone. No taco cabanas in Japan? No. I never even saw those in Louisiana. Now, they might have put those in Louisiana since I've been gone. I've been living abroad now for over 12 years. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Walker. Fouls that one off again. Another sinker right in the zone. I see the advertisements for the taco cabanas, but I think Jeremy Pena does the commercials for those, but I've never been to one. Astros advantage. Yes. Here's another 3-2 pitch. Castillo shakes off several, and he finally gets what he wants. Way outside, ball 4. We have bases loaded. Christian Walker, what an excellent at-bat. Fouling off those strikes. Taking all those balls. Coming back from being down in the count to walking. Castillo up to 96 pitches. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. Jeremy Pena's going to come through here with bases loaded. Here's the pitch to Pena. A little low and away, but a strike called by the umpire. Pena takes it, but that would have been a pretty difficult pitch to hit. Pena actually is not batting badly. 297 for his career with bases loaded. He calls timeout here. There won't be a pitch. The count is 0-1. 17 people watching right now. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If you can, like the video. Here's the pitch to Pena. Oh, low and away again, but this time Pena goes after it, and that's strike 2. 0-2. Pena does have a hit today. He's 1 for 1. Castillo steps off the mound. That's going to be a disengagement. Now he's back on the rubber. Pena's in, ready to go. He comes set. Here's the delivery. Way low and outside. Pena takes that one for ball 1. It should have been ball 2. But it's all right. Pena can handle it. He's already 1 for 1 today. He's got a hit. He'll come up with another one. Here's the pitch. No, he does not. He will come up with a hit, but not now. It'll be later. Swing and a miss. Unfortunately, the Astros strand 3 runners. No more runs. When we go into the bottom of the 4th, the Astros still up 4-0. Right there should have been 6-0, if not more. But that's okay. We still got 3 more runs to get. I think the Astros are going to get 7 runs. I know they are. They're going to get 7 runs today. 6 hits for the Stros, 4 runs through 4 innings. We go into the bottom of the 4th. The Mariners with 1 error, 1 hit, and no runs. Brown is still on the mound. He's up to 53 pitches. Man, when I'm drinking coffee, wearing my hat and this headset, these glasses all together, whew, they sure does start making my head hot. Let me refresh my screen and make sure everything is looking good. Yep, it's all good. Video from phone. Wow, that's pretty interesting, guys. 88% of you so far. How do you follow the Geaux Stros live play-by-play? No video from PC. Audio from phone, just 12%. No audio from PC. So nobody's using the PC at all. Just phone. 88% watching video. I wonder how many have answered the poll. I don't know until I end the poll. I tried to make my layout on the screen pretty clear. I do like to have the chat on the screen. I think it's pretty cool. It might be a little hard to see on a phone screen, but I also made the scoreboard much bigger so it's easier to see. I don't need to have my video very big. You guys don't need to see my handsome face too clearly. Pretty interesting, guys. There are 7, quote, 5-star catches in the major leagues so far this season. 2 of those belong to the Astros, Cam Smith, Jake Myers, and they happened back to back. How do you like that? Pretty crazy. Hunter Brown is facing Jorge Polanco, the DH. 1-0 is the count. First pitch was a ball. That second pitch is right on the inside corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Polanco. Here's the delivery. That's grounded opposite field. It's backhanded by Pena. It has to make a running throw. And another scoop up once again. What in the world is going on with these amazing defensive plays? Man. Jeremy Pena with the running backhanded catch. The difficult throw to first, and then the scoop by Walker to get that out. Man, these gloves, freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. If you're a Mariners fan, you got to be shaking your head at that. 1 away. Kyle Riley comes to the plate, and here's the first pitch from Brown. That could have gone either way. It was a little inside, but Brown was hugging the plate. Umpire said that's a ball. First at bat was a flyout for Raleigh. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Hit hard to the right side. A diving catch again by Rogers, and he throws over to first to get the out. Yet again, a great play. Man, that's 2 diving backhanded grabs by Rogers today. It looked almost identical to that other play that he made. Take a look at this. Except this throw was really good. His last throw was a little difficult for Walker to handle. This one was perfect. You can see right there. Randy Arozarena comes to the plate. Very first pitch fouled off for strike 1. Man, 2 away. 1 strike, no balls. This Astros infield, man. Whew. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. The 60th pitch of the game for Brown, right in there, and that's with that slider, 92 miles an hour. Strike 2, 0-2. Hunter Brown might be able to get another strikeout here. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, up and in, 98 miles an hour. Rosarina has to duck away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch after a long delay from Hunter Brown. High and outside, 98 mile an hour fastball. The count is even, 2-2. Astros outfield has been making great plays this season. Infield is just lighting it up today with great glove work. 96 mile per hour fastball fouled back by Rosarena. You know, you mentioned the Taco Cabanas, but the 2 main places that I miss are the local Mexican restaurant in my hometown and the Raising Cane's chicken. Really miss it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one's hit to left field, and Jordan's going to have to run for it. He's going to be able to make the play. No, bounces off the wall. It's going to be a double for Rosarena. Jordan just can't get there in time. He's not fast enough to get it, but he does keep him at second base. Rosarena has a double. That's 2 doubles today. In the same spot, actually. That's another double, guys. That's 11 doubles for the Mariners this year. 1 double that was an opposite field hit, and then this one that was just to throw the bat out there and get a double hit. Man. First pitch to Luke Raleigh is a ball on the inside. Runner on second with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Brown. Ooh, just a little outside on that fastball. I don't know how he even hit that ball. He wasn't even looking at the ball. He got lucky. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fouled away. 87-mile-per-hour changeup, a couple inches below the zone. Strike 1. 2-1. Two away, 2 balls, 1 strike. Hunter Brown dealing to Luke Raley. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss again. Another changeup low in the zone. Beautiful pitch. The count is even, 2-2. Here comes the 69th pitch from Brown. Fouled off, 89 miles an hour. Brown's going to get to 70 pitches this inning. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runner on second. And here's the delivery. Got him on a sinker? No, that was a knuckle curve. Strike 3. He sits him down on a beautiful knuckle curve that the bottom fell out of. Another K for Hunter Brown. And another scoreless inning. Heck yes, that's what I like to see. We're going to go into the top of the 5th, guys. Astros up 4-0. 2 hits for the Mariners, 1 error and no runs. Astros no errors. Actually, they should have minus errors because they've made such wonderful plays. 6 hits and 4 runs for the Stros. Let's take a look at the live stream right quick and see if anything is going on here. 15 people watching, 14 likes. Thank you so much. I appreciate those likes. Whenever the likes and the views, or rather not the views, but the people watching are about the same, I really like that. I appreciate that. It's not always easy to have your people watching and your likes close to the same. Usually there's a disparity there. So I thank you all for liking the video. I don't know where you're at. I am in Onomichi today. Onomichi is in the eastern area of Hiroshima Prefecture. Something that I didn't realize back when I lived in the U.S. is that Hiroshima is not just a city. They have Hiroshima City, but they have Hiroshima Prefecture, which is a really large area in Japan, and it's part of a region. That region is called Chugoku. So Chugoku region is really big, really, really big. And then a big area of that is Hiroshima Prefecture. And then the capital city of Hiroshima Prefecture is Hiroshima City. And where I'm at is a small town called Onomichi. And Onomichi is almost as far east as you can go and still be in Hiroshima Prefecture. To the east of here is Fukuyama. And Fukuyama is basically the last big city before you exit Hiroshima Prefecture and get into the next one, which I believe is Yamanashi. Looks like the Mariners have a new pitcher, Edward Bazardo. He was in the other day. Caratini's at the plate and fouls off the first pitch, 93 right in the zone. I think I have Bazardo's image already. Yeah, I do. I can change that. High and inside for ball one. There we go. Update that. Got the new pitcher in the game. All good. 1-1 is the count to the Batman, Victor Caratini. 1-for-1 today. Here's the next pitch to him. 82 on the outside corner. Man, that was a nice looking slider. Strike two. Caratini just takes it. Here comes the next pitch. That one's swung on and fouled off down the first baseline, an 83-mile-per-hour slider. Bazardo not throwing anything really hard. I know that the Astros can pick up another 3 runs from this pitcher. Here comes the delivery. Swing and a miss, 94. He cranked up the heat there. Caratini wasn't ready for it. And that'll be out number 1. Top of the 5th, guys. Astros up 4-0. Scoring 4 runs in just 3 innings. Astros still have a lot of ball left here. I believe they're going to tack on 3 more runs today. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate. He's 0-for-1 with a walk. That first pitch is outside for ball 1. Rodgers' batting average has dipped below 300. He's at 267 now. Another ball in the dirt. 2-0. Here comes the next pitch to Rodgers. Outside, ball 3. 3 straight balls to Rodgers. The Astros' next game, I believe, is at home versus the Angels, right? Let me check their schedule to see what's coming up. That next pitch is barely in there. Low 94-mile-per-hour fastball, but it catches the zone. And that is strike 1. 3-1. 10th pitch from Bazardo coming up in just a moment. Way outside, ball 4. Brendan Rodgers gets another walk. 1 runner on, 1 out. Let's take a look again at that Astros schedule. Full schedule. We are live right now, of course. Oh, good. Okay, so tomorrow there's no game. Wow, look at that. Brendan Rodgers steals second. And the throw goes to Crawford for some reason way off the bag. Oh no, that was not a steal. That was a ground ball. While I was looking at the schedule, that was a hit. And should have been a double play. But Crawford couldn't handle it. I've seen him make several errors before. And because of that one, the Astros have runners on first and second. That should have been a double play. Man, how do you like that? Myers comes to the plate. He hits it up the middle. No, that's Cam Smith. He lines up the middle, but the catch is made by the center fielder. My bad. It was Myers that hit that ball to Crawford. And Myers is on first base. Cam Smith lines out. He almost got a hit up the middle. And that brings up my hero, Jose Altuve. He walks to the base. He walks to the plate casually. 1 for 3 today. He does have an RBI. Here comes the first pitch to Altuve. He goes after it on the outside edge. 95-mile-per-hour pitch. Fouls it away. Strike 1. Here comes a 0-1 pitch, way high. Ball 1. One ball, one strike. Bizzardo's delivery to Altuve is on the way. Altuve fouls it off. It'll bounce her down the third baseline. Strike 2. Hey, Philip and Caesar, I see your comments. I'll get to them in just a second. As Altuve is at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here's the pitch from Bizzardo. Altuve lets that one go up and outside. Ball 2. Count is even. Good job. To answer your question, Philip, are you good with health? I'm doing okay, man. There's a lot that I could say. I have changed my diet. I've cut the sugars out completely, and I've dropped my carbs. Here's the pitch to Altuve. He hits that high, and it's going to be played on the plate. Man, that was an unfortunate foul ball. Just a little foul ball to the catcher, and that's out number 3. So the Astros come away with nothing in the top of the 5th. We're going to go into the bottom of the 5th. Astros still up 4-0. But they're still stranding some base runners. They leave a guy on first and second. Hunter Brown's still on the mound for the Astros with 70 pitches. I did some serious changes in my diet. I changed to a keto style diet, less than 50 carbohydrates for the whole day. And now I'm lowering it even more than that. I'm doing less than 40 carbohydrates for the whole day. In the morning, actually, that's one of the things I need to take. Where's my vitamin C? Let me go get my vitamin C. I'll be right back, and I'll finish updating you guys. Thank you for asking. All right, here we go. I just needed to get my vitamin C here. I have some special vitamin C. It has a combination of instant release, time release capsules, and liposomal, what's called liposomal vitamin C. Basically, it goes straight into the cells. It is not eliminated by the body. You know, the body basically takes the vitamins that it needs and it eliminates the rest. But liposomal is not eliminated. It goes straight into the cells. And I've been taking a ton of that each day. I started off with 4,000 a day, and now I'm taking about 6,000 a day. First pitch to Rowdy Tellez is a ball. The second pitch by Brown is delivered just now outside for ball 2. And I'm about to take my vitamin C for the morning right now. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Brown. That's in there, and Tellez launches on that one. That might be, no, dies. Whoo, man, I thought that was going to be gone. He gave that a ride all the way to the track. Cam Smith is able to get underneath it and grab it. Man, that was a little dangerous. Just 2 hits for Brown so far, and with that one, we have 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Whew. Next batter's Dylan Moore. He fouls that one off. A 94-mile-per-hour sinker. Strike 1. Anyway, Caesar says, looking good and sounding good. Go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I can tell you that my attitude has completely changed from last year. Here's the next pitch. A swing and a miss. 96-mile-per-hour right down the middle. Let's take a look at that. Boom. What a pitch. Just blew his doors off. I think I swallowed too many pills at once. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off into the crowd. 98-mile-per-hour sinker. He had a little trouble with that. 0 for 1 today is Moore. He grounded out his last at bat. Right now he's facing an 0-2 count against Hunter Brown. And here comes the pitch. In the dirt, 97-mile-per-hour sinker. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Brown. But besides the keto diet change, I've been doing 2 other main things differently. Well, you could say technically 3 things if you're talking about like the inside work, you know, kind of like the control of my emotions, a little meditation, deep thoughtfulness. Very, very important. It's the number 1 most important thing. But I've been doing that now for the past few months. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Moore. He grounds that one back up the middle. Pena's going to have to barehand it. He makes the throw. Another great catch by Walker. Holy freaking cow. Another Golden Glove play on both ends. As Pena scoops that up with his hand on the run, fires it over to Walker, and Walker scoops it up again to get the out. Look at this. Barehanded by Pena. Boom. Makes the running throw. Scooped up by Walker. Wow. Wow. Another play in the outfield, guys. This was a fly ball to the outfield. And almost. Holy cow. But that's out number 3. While I was trying to comment on the awesome play of Pena and Walker, the next batter flew out. But that's fine by me. Out number 3. We go into the top of the 6th. The Astros up 4-0. Isaac Paredes is due up. Philip says taco night in this household while listening tonight. Oh man, I'm part of taco night. That's freaking awesome. I miss Taco Tuesdays. I really, really do. But yeah, man, like I was saying, I'll say this real quick because we're on the break. We're in between innings right now. But besides the kind of the meditation and the inner work and changing my mindset and all of that, and I do take a little bit of medicine. And right now that medicine is a big question mark because 2 days ago my insurance was taken away from me. When I changed my residence card here in Japan, they said you can't have insurance on this residency, and they took it away. My hospital staff was shocked. They believe that there's been some kind of an error, and they're trying to check in on it. But I'm supposed to go to the doctor today and have another appointment, and that medicine costs over $2,000 every 4 weeks. That's a lot. Obviously, I can't afford that. With my insurance, it costs a little over $200 every 4 weeks. More affordable. But it's possible I may not be able to get that medicine today. And I've been taking this medicine now for a year. But suddenly they just took it. So I'll find out about that later today. But besides taking the medicine, I've been taking a ton of vitamin C. And in the middle of the day, I make a drink for myself that has garlic, ginger, lemon juice, and a little bit of sea salt and turmeric. I drink that once a day. Isaac Paredes is at the plate. He takes the first pitch for strike 1. Mariners have a new pitcher on the mound, Colin Snyder. Here comes the next pitch. That one's also in there, but fouled away by Paredes. That'll be strike 2. Colin Snyder. There we go. Got that changed. Here's the next pitch to Paredes. He fouls that one down the third baseline. An 82-mile-per-hour sweeper. Still got about 13 people following along. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate everyone listening in. 0-2 is the count against Paredes. And that's going to be 0-3 as he swings and misses on that 82-mile-per-hour sweeper. 1 down. Coming to the plate is Yordan Alvarez, who almost had a collision in the outfield with Jake Myers moments ago. 1 for 3 today with a single, and would you believe it, a stolen base. Here's the first pitch. Ooh, man, you should have launched on that one. 87-mile-per-hour cutter right in the middle of the zone, and he took it. 0-1 against Yordan. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch. He goes after that one, but that's below the zone, and he fouls it off down the first baseline. He got around on it, no problem, but it was just not a good pitch. 0-2. Here's the pitch. That one goes straight to the first baseman, and a ground out for Yordan. Yeah, that's going to do it for Yordan. That's out number 2. Christian Walker comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. He did walk his last at bat. It was a really good at bat too. He started off down in the count. Here he starts off ahead with ball 1. 2 walks actually today. Very patient at the plate. That next pitch is an 83-mile-per-hour sweeper, just barely clips the outside corner for strike 1. This next pitch will be Snyder's 10th. And here it comes. 92 on the outside edge, swing and a foul ball by Walker. Walker just not straightening much out. His at-bats don't look bad. He's pretty patient. He's just not getting the hits. Batting 152 so far this year. Here comes the pitch from Snyder. This one's grounded to the left side. It's scooped up by Crawford. He makes the throw. And that's it. 1-2-3 inning for the Mariners. Astros go down in order. And we're going to go into the bottom of the 6th. Astros still up 4-0. Bottom of the 6th. 6 hits for the Stros, 2 hits for the Mariners. 2 errors for the Mariners. All right. This game is cruising along nicely. We've got 3 more full innings to play. Got a couple of notifications here. I wonder what these notifications are. I'm going to take a look. Did you guys have an opportunity to check out the song that I made? It's an artificial intelligence, an AI song, but I wrote the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics to the song. I put them in a program to make a song, and I was able to select the kind of feel that I wanted for the song. And then the one that came out is... where's the video? Why doesn't it list the... That's strange. It doesn't list it as my welcome video. But the name of the song is We Are Champions. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, you can go into my videos on my page and check it out. I think it's pretty good. You blast it in your car, that would be pretty cool. I think it sounds pretty good. I like it. Hunter Brown is about to deliver his first pitch to J.P. Crawford, and that is a swing and a miss. 95-mile-per-hour heater. He blows it by him. Whoops. There we go. 0-1. 80th pitch for Brown. Here comes the next one. Little outside. 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Depending on how this inning goes, this could be Brown's last one. Just a little low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Here comes the pitch to Crawford. Swing and a miss. It blew it by him again. 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Strike 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Crawford throws the bat out there and fouls off that 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Stays alive. We're going to have a 2-2 delivery here in just a moment. Wow, I had 7 subs a couple of days ago and 8 subs yesterday. That's nice. Fouled off again. 97 just above the zone. That was a beautiful pitch. Man, how did Crawford foul that off? He got lucky. Lucky McDucky. Two balls, 2 strikes. Hunter Brown gets the call that he wants. Nope, he's shaking him off, shaking him off. Now he's got what he wants. Here we go with the 2-2 pitch. Right in the middle of the plate, 98 miles an hour, fouled off again. Hunter Brown looks like he's just trying to blow it past him for that 3rd strike. Crawford keeps fouling it off opposite field. Here comes the 2-2 pitch again. That one's in the dirt. He tried the changeup. Hunter Brown really upset with himself after that one. You see he shows a little disappointment with himself. And that's going to be a full count. Here comes the 3-2. 87-mile-per-hour changeup. That one's in there, but fouled off again. A little bit of a battle going on right now. Crawford fouling off everything in the strike zone. Hunter Brown asking for a different baseball, the one that they just threw to him. He didn't seem to like it. Astros bullpen is now working. Here's a 3-2 pitch on the outside. That could have been a ball 4, but fouled off. Count remains 3-2. Sousa is now going in the bullpen for the Astros. Left-handed pitcher. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Crawford. That one's hit on a 1-hop to Paredes. Paredes throws it over to first, no problem. 1 away. After that long battle at the plate, Hunter Brown wins it with an opposite field weak tapper to third base. 1 away. That brings up Julio Rodriguez, who's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts against Brown. Hunter Brown is now at 90 pitches, and Victor Caratini is going to take a little stroll to the mound, have a little meeting with Hunter Brown. I think that what they're doing here is they're just buying a little time for the bullpen to work. Might as well. Good time to do that. Might as well. Man, I've got almost 20 subscribers in the past week. That's nice. I like that. Hope we can keep going. 278, getting closer to 300. Once I get to 500, that will unlock some other options on YouTube. Here's the pitch to Rodriguez, fouled away. Inside, sinker, 97 miles an hour. 0-1. Here comes the second pitch. Another foul ball. 97 sinker again, this time in the bottom of the zone. 0-2. Hunter Brown gets ahead in the count. It'd be really nice for Hunter to get through this inning. I'd like to see him have 7 complete shutout innings before needing to come out. If Polanco's a left-handed batter, it's possible they might pull him after this out. Here's the pitch. Fouled. No, that's going to be to Paredes at third base. And he makes the long throw to first. Another out. So we have the easy ground ball. 2 easy ground balls to third. Jorge Polanco comes to the plate with 2 outs. No runners on. It seems that Hunter Brown is going to stay in. They're going to give him an opportunity to close this out. 93 pitches now for Brown. Here's the first pitch to Polanco, fouled off. Yeah, Polanco is a left-hander. I think probably if the last batter had reached, they might have pulled Brown. Strike 1 with that foul off. Maybe we'll see Sosa in the next inning, in the 7th inning. Probably. As long as Brown gets the out here, that is. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Just a little outside, 83 mile per hour knuckle curve. 1-1. The count is even with 2 outs, no runners on. Astros trying to move into the top of the 7th and add some more runs. 0 for 2 today is Polanco. Here's the pitch. Let's make it 0 for 3. Oh, he just grounds it foul. Christian Walker could have grabbed that one easily and stepped on the bag. It was just a weak ground ball, but the result is strike 2, so the count is 1-2. Man, Polanco's got some strange looking sunglasses. They look like reading glasses, but with the sunglass tint. They look like my glasses, these reading glasses that I have on. These are very weak reading glasses to make everything clear on my screen. Ooh, man, that was a ball in the dirt. Polanco started to go around, but he checked his swing, and that's ball 2. It was tempting. He almost got him. Hunter Brown kind of smiled a little bit about that. He almost got him. He almost tricked him. Here comes the 98th pitch from Brown. Right down the middle, hit opposite field to Paredes. Paredes fires over to first base. No problem. Out number 3. 3 ground balls to Paredes and 3 outs. 3 up and 3 down for Hunter Brown, and he gets through 6 innings, guys. A 2-hitter shutout for Hunter Brown through 6 full innings. His day is most likely over. What another good outing for Brown. And that's why I said earlier that if Victor Caratini is the Batman and Pena is the Flash, who's Superman? And I just kind of feel that right now Hunter Brown is Superman. That's just kind of the way I feel. But what about Altuve? Altuve. What superhero or what Justice League member would he be? I can't really say Superman because even though he does pretty much everything, he just doesn't have the same kind of power. And I know Hunter Brown is just a pitcher, but he's a dominant pitcher. So Superman as a moniker makes sense to me. Top of the 7th coming up. Let me reset the stats on the screen here. Top of the 7th. There we go. $11 people following along. I guess a lot of people are thinking that the game seems comfortable right now, 4-0. Maybe they won't be tuning in to listen in. Casey Lawrence is on the mound for the Mariners. Casey Lawrence. I don't have his image, so I'm going to have to update that on my screen. Casey Lawrence. There we go. Casey Lawrence. First pitch delivered for a swing and a miss. Strike one. Jeremy Pena at the plate. 0-1 is the count. And here's the next pitch from Lawrence. Up and in. 88 mile per hour changeup. Ball one. A walk, a single, a strikeout today for Pena. Out number one with that ground ball to shortstop. Pena goes down. Out number one. So the flash does not get on, and the Batman himself comes up. Victor Caratini. He walked earlier and was able to score. Here's the first pitch. 77 mile per hour slider inside, ball one. Crowd is really quiet. Everybody's sitting there with their arms crossed. It looks really exciting in Seattle right now. Another 88 mile per hour pitch, this time a changeup on the inside, ball two. Nobody on yet. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Caratini. Fouled down the first base line. That'll be strike numero uno. Brendan Rodgers is on deck. Jake Myers in the hole. 2 balls, 1 strike to Caratini. Here's the pitch. Way up and in, man. He was getting close to his head there. Ball 3. Caratini asks for a little breather. Steps out of the box. Adjusts his grip. He's back in the box. Here comes the 3-1 delivery from Lawrence. Caratini hits that one hard to center field. That's way out there to the warning track. Holy cow, he gave that a ride, but it's going to be caught in the dirt. Man, if he had pulled that ball, if only. He gave that one a good ride, just to the deep part of the park. Out number 2. What a good swing by Caratini. If he'd gotten around on it just a little earlier. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate with 2 outs. 2 walks today, including an RBI. 1-0 on that ball. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Right in there, 88 in the middle of the zone. Strike 1. Astros haven't done much the past couple of innings. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Broken bat, single? No, it's going to bounce and be thrown to first. I thought that was going to go in the outfield. But on that broken bat, it landed in front of the second baseman, so that'll be out number 3. And nothing doing for the Astros in the top of the 7th. We're going to go into the bottom. They're about to have the 7th inning stretch. And I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get up and stretch my legs a little bit. I hope you guys are having a really good time wherever you're at, whoever you're with. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get up and walk around just a little bit, stretch my legs, and we'll be back in just a moment. Bennett Sosa. Bennett Sosa. All right, made it back just in time. Bennett Sosa is on the mound for the Astros, and the first pitch is a slider low in the zone, 85 miles an hour. Swing and a miss by Colorado. Strike one. Man, I did everything that I needed to do and got back before the first pitch. Nice. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Sosa. That one's in the dirt, another slider, but ball one. Bennett Sosa. I need to download his picture. I definitely don't have his picture on in my Astros folder. Here's the next pitch. Whoops. I saved his picture in the wrong folder. Strike two on that foul ball. 1-2 is the count. I saved Sosa's picture in the Mariners folder. I'll have to correct that right quick before I can get it on the screen. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Strike three right in there. Got him looking. Man, nice pitch. Sosa comes in and very first pitch, or very first batter, gets a strikeout. That's what I like to see. Just froze him. Man. All right, Rosarena is at the plate. Man, it's taking too long to get this picture loaded. I might have to just go in and delete it and resave it in the right spot. 2-0 the count against Rosarena. 2 balls. Here's the next pitch from Sosa. Man, that just barely missed. That could have been a strike. Called ball 3. 3-0. Rosarena way ahead in the count. They've already got another reliever warming up out in the Astros bullpen. Here's the next pitch from Sosa. And that's ball 4. 4-pitch walk. Way too far on the inside. Rosarena's on first base. The Mariners have a base runner with 1 out. Luke Raley comes to the plate. The first pitch should have been a strike. 86 on the edge, on the inside edge, but called a ball by the umpire. What is going on with these calls on the edge of the zone? Umpire's not liking them. Calling a small zone right now. 1-0. Here's the 10th pitch from Sosa. In the dirt. Caratini's able to stop it. Ball 2. Okay, I got the pitching matchup changed just now. Ball 3. 3-0, man. He's thrown 7 straight balls. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Strike 1, finally. 95 right in the zone. Come on, you want to end this game. Here's a 3-1 pitch. A little low. Ball 4. 2 walks for Sosa. Runners on first and second with 1 out. What in the world is going on here? Okay. Solano is pinch hitting, and with that announcement, they're going to make a pitching change. Donovan Solano comes in, and Sosa is done for the day. Astros will make a pitching change to face Solano. So as soon as I get Sosa's picture on the screen, they pull him out of the game. It's so silly. Who are they bringing in? I didn't get to see who they're bringing in. I'll update it as soon as it's available. Anything going on in the chat? Yeah, a little bit. That guy says, "What up?" from Yado. I was watching on my TV and bootlegging on the phone, but the feed went out. Bootlegging? The feed went out on the TV? Why? Watching on TV wasn't a choice. Oh, I see. I gotcha. You're talking about the poll, yeah. Watching on TV wasn't a choice. Okay, yeah, you're right about that. I didn't think about that, but that's true. I was just kind of lumping the video on the PC, kind of connecting it with video on the TV. I wasn't thinking about them separately so much. Because actually, I use my TV with my PC. I've got my laptop right here, and it's connected also to the TV. So I have it on the TV and the laptop screen. I use both screens. So to me, it's kind of like both. I don't think of them separately so much. But yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I'll remember that for future reference. But thanks for being here. I appreciate that. 16 people following along with 18 likes. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. All right, the first pitch from Contreras, who has replaced Sosa, is a strike. 0-1 is the count. He's facing Solano. Here comes the second pitch. Swing and a miss. 91 mile per hour fastball, high and outside. 0-2. Luis Contreras. Here's the next pitch from Contreras. Right in there. Strike three. Got him looking. How do you like that? Nice pitch. Solano goes down looking. On 3 straight pitches, a strikeout for Contreras. Heck yes, that was a beautiful series of pitches there. Take a look at this. Boom. Sit down, Mr. Solano. They're going to have a little meeting on the mound right now. Taylor Scott is now getting warmed up in the bullpen for the Astros. Astros still leading 4-0. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. This weak crowd cheering a little bit, but most people are just kind of sitting there in their seats with their arms crossed, looking cold and bored and sad. Dominic Canzone comes to the plate. He'll be pinch hitting for Moore. He's batting 000. I don't know how many at-bats he has this season, but he hasn't been able to do anything so far. Here comes the first pitch from Contreras to him. Right in the middle. Foul tip, 92 miles per hour, caught by Caratini. Strike one. Good pitch. Just puts it by him. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. 92. Fastball just above the zone. Good pitch. Contreras jumping out ahead in the count. 0-2. This is 5 straight strikes from Contreras. A 3-pitch strikeout and now 2 strikes against Canzone. Here's the pitch. This one's hit to left field. It should be right to Jordan, and it is. Jordan is camped out underneath it, makes the basket grab, and that's out number 3. Contreras does it. He comes in, gets the final 2 outs, strands the 2 runners on base. Heck yes. We are 3-7. The Astros still with their shutout going 4-0. Top of the 8th coming up. 6 hits for the Astros, 2 hits for the Mariners. Astros just 2 innings away from winning this series on the road in Seattle. This is one team that I really want the Astros to own. On the phone now also just to chat. I get that. I can't imagine trying to type on the TV. I think if you have like a mouse or something or a remote, you'd have to do it one at a time, moving around the keyboard on the screen. It would be really difficult, I think. So I can understand that completely. Oh, amazing stuff. Man. Is there going to be a pitching change for the Mariners? Let me see. They've still got Lawrence listed as the pitcher for the Mariners. So we'll see if that remains so. When the live stream comes back up. Jake Myers is due up, followed by Cam Smith and Jose Altuve, so my hero will get another chance to hit today. Jake Myers came through with a timely hit earlier, the first RBI of the game, got the scoring started. Astros haven't done anything in the way of scoring for the last 4 innings, but they have left a lot of guys on base. They've put a lot of traffic on. And not just with hitting. They only have 6 hits. But they've been getting runners on in different ways. Mariners were holding up the game because they didn't have a left fielder out there. I don't know what was going on. Rosarena finally running out there. Casey Lawrence appears to still be on the mound, and he is. He will be the pitcher here in the top of the 8th for the Mariners. Jake Myers is ready to go. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul down the third base line, an 87-mile-per-hour changeup. Strike 1. Oh, and 1. Here's the pitch. Woo! Right on the outside edge. 88-mile-per-hour changeup. The umpire liked it. Maybe just nicked that outside edge by about a centimeter. 0-2 is the count. Come on, Myers. You haven't had a hit since that RBI. It's time for you to have another right here and get on base. Leadoff runner, come on. And Myers hits it to the third base side. That's going to be scooped up and fired to first. Should be no problem. And it is. Myers grounds out to start the inning. Cam Smith is coming up next. Cam Smith also has a single and an RBI today. First pitch is a changeup low and away, ball 1. Good take. Here comes the next pitch from Lawrence. Right in the middle. It might be another single, and it is. Hit through the right side. Cam Smith with his second single of the day. Man, there we go. Cam Smith with a 2-hit day, and we have a base runner. .88-mile-per-hour pitch right in the zone. Cam Smith stays in there and punishes that one easily into the right field area. Altuve's at the plate. He goes after the first pitch and fouls it up, or pops it up rather. But Crawford tries to get out there and make the catch, is not able to make it, and everybody's safe. What a crazy... I can't even describe what just happened there, guys. I need a moment to think about it. There were so many crazy things. Well, I'm going to show you the replay, and I'll explain it to you as it happened. But Altuve hit it up to center field, and nobody committed to getting it. The center fielder came in. Crawford went running out. He tried to make the catch. He missed it. It bounced. And then when they tried to throw it to second to get the out at second, they made a terrible throw. And the runner was safe at second. Cam Smith was safe at second. So Altuve's on first. Smith is on second. And Isaac Paredes is at the plate. He takes the first pitch for strike one. Man, that was crazy. Just crazy. It looked like blooper reel. 88 miles an hour, just barely on that outside corner. Strike two. Astros with an opportunity. They got a runner in scoring position. Altuve getting on base again. They give him a hit there. That's 8 hits now for the Astros. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That's off the pitcher, and that's going to go through the right side. Is that going to score a run? No. Cam Smith has to hold up at third. But that hit off the pitcher. Man, Paredes nailed that ball off the pitcher. And it bounced over to the right side of the field where there was no defender. And that's going to be another infield hit. 3 straight hits for the Astros. Bases loaded with 1 out. That's going to cause the Mariners to make a pitching change, I believe. No, they're just checking on Lawrence's hand. Man, the strange inning continues. This is some weird stuff to try to call. Do they have a Freebirds in Japan? I don't even know what a Freebirds is, that guy. I don't know. You're going to have to tell me what that is. Story of our life. Nice, absolutely. That guy, you're going to have to tell me what a Freebirds is, because I don't know. 20 pitches now for Lawrence. Yordan Alvarez is at the plate with 1 out and bases loaded, guys. 1 for 4 today. And they're going to keep Lawrence in there. They're going to let him face Yordan. And despite having some kind of issue with his hand. They give him a couple of warm-up pitches. Man, I wonder why they left him in the game. Having some kind of issue with his hand. They finally have worked it out. He's got a couple of warm-up pitches, and Yordan is in the batter's box, guys. Bases loaded. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Way outside, ball 1. Interesting stuff. What an interesting inning this has been. Bases juiced. 3 hits. Yordan could be the 4th. And he skies this one up foul. It's going to be out of play, thankfully. Strike 1. Come on, Yordan. That was an 80-mile-per-hour pitch. Could have launched that one. Just got too far underneath it. I really, really want to see a grand slam, man. The Astros have had a dry spell of grand slams since, like, what, last year? Low and outside. 74-mile-per-hour curveball. Ball 2. 2-1. Here comes the pitch to Jordan. He hits that one hard to left field. It's back to the warning track. It's going to be deep enough to get a run in, but there won't be a grand slam today. Cam Smith is easily able to tag and come home. The Astros put on another run. Sacrifice fly by Jordan. Doesn't get the GS, but he gets the RBI. 5-0 Astros. 2 away. Christian Walker comes to the plate with runners on first and second and 2 away. So at least we didn't strand any runners. Here's the first pitch to Walker. Walker takes that inside, ball 1. Man, all the way out to the warning track, Jordan came close. He's been playing with that all game. He's been hitting the ball hard. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside check swing. Did he go? They say he did. Are you serious? Really? Didn't look like he went, but they're going to call that a strike. 1-1. Okert seems to be warming up a little bit, stretching out in the bullpen. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Walker. Walker fouls that back, 87 up and in on that changeup. Strike 2. Man. Walker, I really want for you, man. I want for you to hit the ball. Start hitting the ball. Right now, start hitting that ball. Here's the pitch. Way up and in. Almost nicked him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on. Once again, we have 2-2-2-2-2. Here is the 2-2 pitch to Walker. He hits this one out into left field. It's going to drop. No, Rosarina comes in and grabs it. That's going to be out number 3, but not before the Astros get at least 1 more on the board. Going into the bottom of the 8th, Astros up 5-0. 9 hits now for the Astros. 9 hits, 5 runs, no errors. Mariners coming up in the bottom of the 8th. Right now they have just 2 hits, 2 errors, and no runs. Let's get all of this information reset. Bottom of the 8th, guys. Bottom of the 8th. Let's check the live stream. That guy says the burrito joint. I have no idea about that. I've never heard of Freebirds. I lived in North Carolina for about a year and a half. But other than that, when I was in the U.S., I only lived in Texas and Louisiana. So most all of my life, I've lived in Houston and Shreveport, Louisiana. And then I lived about a year and a half in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But those are the only places that I've lived in, if you don't count the time that I spent in Natchitoches, Louisiana, 1 year for university. I mean, I guess that counts. But I've been in Asia now for over 12 years. I lived in China for 7 years, almost 7 years, and then I moved to Japan. I've been here now for over 5 years. So, if Freebirds is something that opened after I left, I have no idea. If it's something that is not in the kind of between the Houston and... But there's a lot of stuff that in Houston that I don't even know about because I haven't lived in Houston in a while. I was there when I was a kid until I was 7 years old, and my family moved us to Louisiana so my dad could try to get some work. All the steel factories started closing down in Houston, and we had to move. So unfortunately, we left Houston. I didn't want to leave Houston. I wish I'd been able to stay. Even today, I wish I'd been able to stay. It would have been better for me. Contreras is still in the game. He's facing Miles Mastrobuoni, and that first pitch is in there for strike 1. Good pitch, right in the top of the zone. Says I saw a video of Prince William over there in the UK, and Five Guys was in the background. Yeah, Five Guys. I think there's also a Five Guys in China. I'm not sure if there's one in Japan. Might be. I'm not sure. 1-1. This one's hit hard to right field. That's going to be a single. So the Mariners have a leadoff base runner. Contreras gives up a single to Mastroboni. Runner on first. That brings up J.P. Crawford. That's the third hit of the game for the Mariners, the first one against the relievers. Okert has started warming up in the bullpen again. Here's the first pitch to Crawford. Long delay by Contreras. Finally delivers it, but it's just high. 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Ball one. How many have we left on today so far? That's a good question. Let me see. Here's the next pitch to Crawford. High and outside. Ball two. Left on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19. 19, guys. 19, to answer your question. 19 left on base. Crazy. Ooh, generous call from the umpire there on the outside edge. Strike one. Maybe an inch out of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's in there. 84-mile-per-hour changeup. Good pitch. The count is even, 2-2. Mariners have left 6 on base, but they haven't had many opportunities. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball on that changeup. Count remains 2-2. I think I got some more hot water here. I'm going to pour myself a bit more. 5-0. Stros in the bottom of the 8th. Contreras looking for that first out with a runner on. Here's the 2-2 to J.P. Crawford. Way high. It was about 1.5 feet out of the zone. Ball 3. Count is full. Okert still warming up in the Astros bullpen. Here's the 16th pitch now for Contreras. Full count pitch. Oh, just a little high. Check swing, but he doesn't go around. That's ball 4. Contreras has 2 runners on now with no outs. Is that going to be it for him? Guess not. Don't see any action on behalf of the coaches right now. Julio Rodriguez comes to the plate, a right-handed batter. He's 0 for 3 today. Here comes the first pitch from Contreras. Rodriguez takes that one. That one was way high, another 1.5 feet out of the zone, a sweeper. I'm looking forward to taking a hot shower, finish packing my bag, and grabbing myself some food on the way to the train station. Oh, no, that's right. I've got to catch the bus first. I'll take the train later. I got to get to the bus stop by 9:40. That's exactly 2 hours from now. Here's the pitch to Rodriguez. Fouls that one back. 1-1. I'm glad that the Astros have a nice lead. They just need to be solid with their relief pitching, and if possible, tack on a few more insurance runs in the 9th to seal this game. Then I can be happy and go along my way and head to Hiroshima City. Here's the 1-1 pitch. High again, 90 miles an hour sinker. Ball 2, 2-1. I haven't been to the Five Guys place, but I know about it. There's another place, the Shake Shack. They've got those here and in China. I've been to both of those. 84 miles an hour, high again, ball 3, 3-1. Contreras threatening to walk another batter. Load the bases with no outs. Don't do that, man. Let's see a double play ball. You know, I'd really like to see a triple play. I keep asking for a triple play. I've never seen a triple play live. I would love to see one here. Here's the pitch. Another walk. Bases loaded. Espada is going to pull him out. He's walking out to the mound. That's going to be all she wrote for Contreras. It's sad because Contreras actually started off not too bad. But then he just lost control. Last inning, he didn't do bad. He did what he was supposed to do. But this inning, he's not feeling it for some reason. Steven Okert is coming in the game, I think. He's been the one warming up in the bullpen, so I'll go ahead and change that information on the screen. Steven Okert. There we go. All right, I need to send a message to my lady. Tell her good morning. There we go. All right, got that message sent. Just wanted to tell her good morning and have a good day at school. She's studying at business school right now, so she's going to be a little busy with that. I think it's her first main day at the school, today and tomorrow. So just wanted to wish her good luck before it gets to be too late. It's about 7:45 in the morning here. Mitch Garver is going to be facing Steven Okert. So far, 4.2 innings. Okert has an ERA of 0.00. Mitch Garver is in as a designated hitter facing Okert, and here's the first pitch with bases loaded and no outs. 91 miles an hour, high and outside, ball one. Hunter Brown didn't walk anybody, and the relievers have walked 4. Amazing. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike, inside and low. Garver takes that one on the edge. 1-1 is the count. Okert, give us that triple play, man. I want to see it. I want to see the triple play. Here's the 1-1 pitch. High and outside, 91 miles an hour on that fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Garver batting 150 for the season. Okert is a left-hander. Garver batting is a right-hander. Here's the pitch. That one's in there. An 80-mile-per-hour slider, swing and a miss. Wow. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Batter takes a timeout. Garver steps out of the box. Now he's back in. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. Way inside on that slider. Ball 3. Full count. Bases loaded. No outs. Full count. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Foul ball right in the middle. Slider. Count remains 3-2. That guy says, "Are you in our future right now?" That's a joke that some of my friends in the U.S. make sometimes. They say, "Tell me about the future. What's coming in the future? Can you tell me what the weather's going to be? Can you tell me this? Can you tell me that?" Pretty funny. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That one's in there, hit really high. Dubon is underneath it. Is it going to be it's going to be too shallow for a tag, I think. Dubon throws it home, but they cut it off. Big out there. Runners do not advance. Out number 1. Big out. Good job on that first out. A shallow fly ball to left field. Dubon was able to bring it in fast. No chance to really tag. Raleigh's over 3 today. He comes to the plate facing Stephen Okert. And here is the first pitch. 79 miles an hour outside, ball 1. Slider missing the mark by about a foot. What is your plan, Japan? My plan in Japan, that's a big answer. Here's the next pitch, 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a slider. Wow. That had a lot of movement from left to right. It started off outside the plate, came back in. If you can take a look at this. Came all the way back across the plate and he couldn't handle it. Wow, what a pitch. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss on a high slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Okert gets ahead in the count. Looking good so far, man. Keep it up. One ball, 2 strikes to Raleigh. Here comes the pitch from Okert. Oh, check swing. Did he go? They say he did not. That was close. That could have been strike 3. Ooh, that was close. Philip, right now my main focus is trying to restore my health. Just so you guys know, I'm not working a job right now. I'm on a special activities visa. I'm here I finished school, so I'm not a student anymore. I finished Japanese language school, and now I'm on a special activities visa, so I can be here for medical treatment. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Raleigh. Way outside, another full count. So this year, I'm trying to do some renovations to my old house. I bought a very old house in East Hiroshima. I want to fix that up, move back into it, and do some other things. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3! He gets the strikeout, guys. Okert picks up the 3-2 strikeout. Raleigh goes down. Second out. Let's take a look at this. Look at this thing, a beauty. How do you like that? Beautiful. Nice slider. 2 away. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Rosarina comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Just a little outside on that fastball. Ball 1. Okert pitches so calmly. The way he prepares and delivers his pitches on the mound is just very calm. Ground ball just foul down the third baseline. Strike 1. That was a nice pitch. 90-mile-per-hour fastball. A little difficult for Rosarina to do something with. The count is even. Man. Nice calm pitching here. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Rosarina. That's hit really hard to left field. It's all the way back to the warning track, and oh my gosh, it's gone, guys. I kid you not. Rosarina hits a grand slam. 5-4. It just barely got over the wall. That whole time, Okert was doing so good. Came in, got the first 2 outs, pitching nice and calmly. So 1 RBI goes, 1 earned run goes to Okert, and the other goes to the other 3. Man, Look how it just barely gets out. Just barely. Just enough. But that's all that matters. Bases are clear for the next batter, Luke Raley. Strike one on that swing and a miss. Man. Astros now only up by 1 run. Don't do this to me, guys. Don't do this to me. Here's the next pitch. That's in there for strike 2. 0-2 against Raley. He takes that pitch for the second strike. Here comes the next one. This one's hit hard to center field, but it should be playable for Jake Myers, and it is. That's out number 3. So the Astros get out of the inning, but not before having their lead cut down to just 1, 5-4. Holy cow. Hunter Brown gets through 6 innings without giving up anything. Astros kind of limp through the 7th, but then give up a grand slam. So Astros have multiple opportunities to get a grand slam. Don't do it. Then they give up the grand slam in the 8th, but they still got the lead going into the top of the 9th. 5-4 Astros. Holy cow, what a game. Philip, to try to continue answering your question, I'm writing a book right now. My book is it's just a story that takes place in Edo period Japan around 200 years ago. I'm trying to finish that book, and after I do that, I'm going to try to get it translated into Japanese. From there, my hope is to, of course, I want to sell the book. That's the main thing. I want to get the book out there, and I want to have some success selling the book. But I hope to also make it into a film. However, I've got a couple of other things going on. One of those is I've got a relationship building with my current girlfriend, a beautiful young lady from Vietnam, actually, not from Japan. I didn't see that coming, but she kind of came into my life suddenly last December, and we just became closer and closer, and now I just can't imagine being with anybody else. So I'm about to go see her the day after. No, tomorrow. I'm sorry. Today I'm going to Hiroshima, and then tomorrow morning I'll go see her. I'm really looking forward to that. But I have an old house here. I'm trying to get that fixed up so that I can use it as kind of an inn or an old vacation home that people can go rent and stay at. Use it as a business. And so those are the main plans. But what am I going to do for my next visa? Don't know that yet. We'll see. Jeremy Pena is at the plate facing Casey Lawrence. The first pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1. It should be 14 or 15-4 with all those runs we left on. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Pena. In the bottom part of the zone, strike 2. Pena takes that one looking. I wonder who the Astros are going to have pitching in the 9th. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Pena in the dirt and bounces back to the back screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Abreu looks like he's going to be warming up in the bullpen for the Astros, and he is. Brian Abreu. We'll most likely see him in the 9th inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Pena. Pena grounds that ball foul. Stays at 1-2. Man. Crazy game. This has been one crazy game. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Here's the pitch to Pena. Outside, ball 2. Good take. Oh yeah, the Astros have in just 4 innings they left 9 runners on. Fouled off again. Count remains 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. A little low. Low and inside. The count is full. Good eye by Pena. 1 for 3 today with a single. He had a single in his first at bat, and since then hasn't done much. Let's see if he can turn it around here. He does. He hits it to the left field. That's going to be all the way out to the wall. He's going to turn and go for 2. Rosarena brings it in, but it's too late. Pena with a double. Now we have a runner, a leadoff runner. Let's take a look at that hit if we can. There we go. Pulls it into the left field side all the way to the wall there. Good hit by Pena. Second hit of the game. Heck yes. Victor Caratini comes to plate batting lefty. Over 3 today with a walk and a run. Here's the first pitch to him. Right in the top of the zone. Strike 1 on that changeup. If Caratini can just rip that ball out into right field, we might get ourselves another run here. Pena can definitely speed around the bases. JP, heck yes. No balls, 1 strike to Victor Caratini, the Batman. Here's the pitch outside. 76 miles an hour. 1-1 is the count. I don't know why I had a ball on the screen already. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Pena on second. Top of the 9th. Astros trying to add some to the lead here after giving up 4. Swing and a miss by Caratini there on an 80-mile-per-hour changeup. Seems like that would have been a good one to kind of relax on, sit back, and just plop it into the outfield. Here's the next pitch. That's hit straight up. That's going to be a fly out to Crawford, or should be. You never know with him. And it is caught. Out number 1. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate. He will be followed by Jake Myers. Rodgers today has 2 walks and an RBI as part of that, actually. Here's the first pitch from... Nope, Lawrence steps off and acts like he's going to throw to second base. Pena goes back and touches the base. Lawrence comes set. Here's the first pitch to Rodgers. Right in there, 77 in the bottom of the zone. Nice slider. Strike 1. Come on, Rodgers. Time to get another hit. Here he comes. Swing and a miss outside. Should have let that one go. So he takes the strike and swings at the ball. Now the count's 0-2. Come on, Rodgers. Lock it in, man. Lock it in. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Nope. Lawrence goes to second. Pena is stealing third. Is he going to get there? He's safe. Holy cow. The pitcher tried to pick Pena off at second, but Pena actually got to third. Check this out. He throws to second. Pena went all the way to third and steals it. He gets it. Pena to third. How about that, man? Maximum effort. Good job, Pena. Counts 0-2 against Rodgers with 1 out. Pena on third. Here's the pitch. Oh, that bounces away. It gets away from the catcher. Pena's going to score. Pena is going to score easy. No problem. 2-run lead. 6-4 Astros. That pitch was wild. It just bounced off the ground. The catcher didn't even know where it went. He was looking around for it. Couldn't find it. Pena just trots home, no problem. Standing up. How do you like that? Heck yeah. 6-4 Astros. There comes the 1-2 pitch to Rodgers. Rodgers hits that one out to left center. They're converging on it. The center fielder takes it, and that'll be out number 1. He gave that a pretty good ride. But that's out number 2. 6-4 Astros with 2 outs. No runners on. Jeremy Pena getting it done here in the 9th with a double, a stolen base, and then trotting home on that wild pitch. Heck yes. Jake Myers is at the plate. Takes the first pitch, low and away. Little check swing, but he didn't go. Ball 1. 1 for 4 today with a single and an RBI. Batting .276 currently for the season. Here's the next pitch. Little check swing again. They say he did not go again. 2 balls and no strikes. Good takes by Pena. I'm sorry, by Myers. I'm still thinking about Pena. Here's the pitch. A little check swing again, low and away. 3 in a row. 3 balls, low and away. 3 check swings. 3-0 is the count. Chas McCormick is on deck, guys. We might see Chaz come to the plate here in a minute. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Myers. Too far inside. Ball 4. Myers with a walk. Good job. Good eye by Myers. We have another base runner with 2 outs. Chas McCormick comes to the plate with an opportunity to do something here. He's batting .250 right now so far this season. That's pretty darn good for McCormick. Huge improvement. Even though it's a small sample size, .250 for McCormick is phenomenal compared to the year that he had in 2024. First pitch to him just above the zone for ball 1. That was a good take. Maybe 2 inches above the zone. 1-0. 50 pitches now for Lawrence. Let's see if Myers tries to steal. Nope, Lawrence goes over to first. Myers is back. 10 hits for the Astros in this game. 6 runs. No errors. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to McCormick. Swing and a miss. Low in the zone. An 87 mile per hour change up. The count is even. 1-1. Only 6 people watching right now. Did the Grand Slam turn them off? Is that what happened? I don't know. I forgot to turn my light on up here. I think my face is too dark on the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike to McCormick. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Ball 2. I'm going to turn this light on. Make my face a little brighter on the screen. I think that'll be a little better. 2 balls and 1 strike to McCormick. 2 outs. Myers on first. Here's the pitch. Chaz hits a line drive, but right at the third baseman. Holy cow, he smoked that one. But it was put away right at the third baseman. Man, that was unfortunate. He gave it a ride. But as it ends, the top of the 9th, the Astros get 1 more run. 6-4 Astros. We're moving into the bottom of the 9th. Man. Whew, what a game. What in the world here? What in the world's going on here? Why is my score not updated on the screen? Oh, I see. It's not updating on the screen. Let me refresh that. Now it should be correct. It's showing, it was showing still in the bottom of the 7th, but it's not. It's in the bottom of the 9th. Is that right? Oh, okay. I see what I need to do here. Hang on a second, guys. My scoreboard is not updating inside of my live stream software. So I'm going to close it and refresh it right quick, and then it should be okay. There we go. Now it's right. Sorry about that. That's something that just happens kind of sporadically. the software just stops refreshing the scoreboard, and then I have to go back and manually delete it and then re-add it, and then it pops up. Now it's right. 6-4. This is why I keep checking the live stream as I'm doing the game, because sometimes these digital things just don't work like they should, you know. 4.2 innings pitched so far by Abreu. ERA of 0. He's on the mound now for the Astros. Solano comes up to the plate, takes the first pitch, strike one. Next pitch in there. Looks like strike two to me. 0-2 is the count. Here comes the delivery. This one's hit to the right side, and that's going to be a single. Lead-off single on that 0-2 pitch. Man, that's unfortunate. 0-2 and then give up a single. So the Mariners have a leadoff base runner on with no outs. Pinch hitter comes up. First pitch to him is on the way. 1-0, that's high. I don't even know who this batter is. I don't see his name yet. Leo Rivas. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Abreu. In there. Nice slider for strike one. One and one. Here comes a pitch from Abreu. Way outside. That slider missed the mark by about a good 2 feet. Caratini had to slide out there and get it. Ball two. Come on, Abreu. You can do it. You will do it. You are doing it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. Right in there, hit hard to right field. Should be playable easily for McCormick. He does grab it. And that'll be out number 2. Runner is back to first. He can't go anywhere. Out number 1. Ten hits for the Astros today. Pretty crazy. Miles Mastrobuoni is at the plate. Takes that first pitch for strike one, an 83-mile-per-hour slider. Good pitch by Abreu. Only about half a dozen people following along right now. Thank you for being here. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Abreu. Ooh, just barely missed that outside corner. Ball one. That could have been called either way. It was close. The count is even. Abreu gets the call he wants. He comes set. And here's the delivery. That's one hit up the middle. That's going to be another base hit. Myers runs over to get it. Might move the runner to third. And it does. He gets there. Mariners with runners on the corners now with 1 away. Abreu giving up 2 singles. Mastrobuoni moves the runner up to third. It looked like a little golf hit up the middle there. J.P. Crawford comes to the plate. 1 for 2 today. Facing Abreu now. Only 3 for 12 against Abreu. Runner goes to second. They're going to let him go. No throw. And that ball was outside for ball one. Man, this crowd is almost completely empty. 1-0. Here's the pitch. Inside strike with that slider. Good pitch by Abreu. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Runners on second and third here in the bottom of the ninth. Here comes a pitch. Ground ball to third. And they call him out at third. What a play there. Paredes gets a ground ball on third and tags the runner for the out. I want to see that replay. That was really, really amazing. Take a look at this. This ground ball to Paredes was nabbed. And he tagged the runner. They called him out. The Mariners might challenge it. We'll see. Did he get him? We'll see. We'll see what comes of it. Kind of hard to see from that angle. The crowd is cheering, but no signal has been made yet by the umpires. They're showing a different angle here. Let's see. It looks like he's going to be safe. Holy cow! We might have bases loaded with no out, or with 1 out. It's so close. Is it enough to overturn? Is it clear? Let's see. Man, this is very important right here. Well, you know, at this particular angle, it's difficult to see. It looks like it happens simultaneously. This might not be enough to overturn it. The crowd is cheering like it's definitely a turnover, but it has to be indisputable. And the umpire called him out. They're still talking about it. They're not sure. Big call coming up here. They call him safe. Bases are going to be loaded with 1 out. Instead of runners on first and second with 2 outs, we have bases loaded with 1 out. Julio Rodriguez comes to the plate with bases loaded again. Rodriguez is 1 for 11 against Abreu for his career with 5 strikeouts. He's had a lot of trouble with Abreu. But Abreu's been in high pressure situations. He can do this. First pitch is on the way. Right in there, swing and a miss. 97 mile per hour fastball goes right after him. Strike 1. Abreu is not sweating. He looks calm. I think he can do this. Come on, man. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled back, strike 2. 87 mile per hour slider. Gets ahead in the count. Little bit of sweat on Abreu right now. He wipes it. Maybe he can use that to throw a strikeout right here. A little sweat on the ball. Batter steps out. Rodriguez wants to take a breather. Now he's back in the box. 1 away, bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth, guys. Astros up by 2. 0-2 is the count. Abreu facing Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. Hit hard to right field. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to probably score 2 runs. Yep, 6-6. Astros give up the lead. It's a tie game. Right field single. Runners on second and first. Still just one out. Man, the Astros relievers destroying the starting pitcher's efforts again. Abreu sucks, wasted out. Well, he hasn't sucked, not until today. He's been doing really well till today. He sucked this inning, that's true. But to say that he sucks overall is too much. They're having a meeting on the mound right now. Abreu is going to face the next batter, Garver. Mitch Garver comes to the plate. Runners on first and second. The game is tied. 7 hits for the Mariners now after getting only 2 hits against Hunter Brown and no runs. Now they have 6 runs and 7 hits. Here comes the first pitch from Abreu. Swing and a miss. 97 mile per hour. Fastball. Good pitch. That's twice that Abreu has gotten ahead in the count 0-2 and given up a hit in this inning. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Another high fastball, 98 miles an hour. Strike 2. Here we go again, 0-2. Another 0-2. 3 times Abreu has gotten ahead in the count, 0-2. The first 2 times, single. That last single scored 2 runs. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Garver. Another high fastball, but a little too far outside. Ball 1. The runners have advanced to second and third. No throws. How did they get to second and third with no throw? That one's way outside for ball 2. Abreu missing on that one. The count is even. 1 away. Runners on second and third. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mitch Garver. Abreu still on the mound, dealing his 21st pitch in just a moment. Little check swing on the outside and low. They say he did not go, and that's a full count. Astros choke again. Update the score, please. Let's see. It should be updated. Let me refresh the screen. Should be okay now. Oh my gosh. That was in the bottom of the zone. Clearly in the bottom of the zone. Called a ball, and that's a walk. The bases are loaded again with 1 out. Astros just keep loading the bases. How can you take that pitch? Look at this pitch. Right there. That was strike 3, guys. Umpire laid off. Strike 1 to Kyle Raleigh, who's 0 for 4 today. Swing and a miss on that one. I shouldn't have to refresh my screen just to get the score to update. That scoreboard is not working very well right now. Ground ball to the right side. They go home and get the out at home. They only get 1 out, but they stopped the run from scoring. Christian Walker grabbed that one and threw it home. Caratini got his foot on the plate. That's out number 2. Bases are still loaded. Just a few steps away from losing the game right there. Man. Nail biter. Another nail biter. Rosarina comes to the plate with bases loaded again for the 2nd straight time this inning. 100 mile per hour fastball misses the mark for ball 1. 1-0. Here's the pitch. Another 99 mile per hour pitch. Very fast, but outside, ball 2. Don't walk in the run. Don't lose the game with a walk, man. I wouldn't say the Astros are chokers. I don't know where that's coming from. You got an Astros logo, but you're saying some negative things. If you keep being negative, I'm going to have to kick you out. Be positive, man. 2 balls and 1 strike. Foul ball on that pitch. Everybody's welcome to their opinion, but no hate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 98-mile-per-hour pitch. What a beautiful pitch there. Just blew it by him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Abreu comes back in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. It comes down to this right here. Come on. Here's the pitch from Abreu. Way outside. 99 miles an hour. Can you believe it? Bases loaded with 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes in the bottom of the 9th. This is the kind of thing that you always say when you're a kid and you're playing with your friends. You're like, okay, this next pitch, it's a full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom of the 9th. And here it is. Ball 4, and that's it. The Astros lose on a walked-in run. He missed way high. Way high. Rosarena walks it off with a walk. How do you like that? So the Astros were up big time in this game. They give up a grand slam. They give up 2 more runs, and then they walk in a final run to lose the game to the Mariners 7-6 in the 9th inning. That has got to be the most disappointing game I've seen so far this year. But you know, it happens. However, there's no extra innings. That means I don't get delayed in my schedule. I was just thinking the Astros would win quickly, and then I could go. And then they started giving up runs, and the game got tied. And then I thought, oh my gosh, is this going to be another extra innings game? Because I really don't have a lot of time to cover an extra innings game. And then they lost. So the Astros did me a favor, but the kind of favor I don't really want. I don't really want them to do me a favor like that. But a really quick game recap for you guys, a scoring recap. In the second, Meyer singled to right, scoring Pena 1-0. Smith singled to right, 2-0 in the first. Or I'm sorry, in the second. Altuve singled, 3-0 Astros in the second. In the third inning, Rogers walked, scoring Walker. Alvarez hit a sacrifice fly in the 8th, 5-0 Astros. Going into the 8th inning, 5-0 Astros in the 8th inning. Rosarena hits a grand slam in the 8th, brings the Mariners within 1 run. The Astros score an insurance run in the 9th, 6-4. And then the Astros give up 2 more runs, including a bases-loaded walk, to lose the game 7-6 in the 9th inning, the bottom of the 9th. They lose the series to the Mariners 1-2. They'll go back to Houston for a break. And then I think they have the Angels coming up after that on Thursday. But that's it for me. I can't take any more. My stomach is upside down right now because of that. So I'm going to stop it here, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I apologize for the outcome. I'm just the messenger and not the cause of today's grief. And thank you for liking, subbing, all of that stuff. And let's stay positive. Remember, at the end of the day, it's just a game. Of course, we want our team to do well. And sometimes they will. They'll come through. Sometimes they'll come through when you think they're not going to, and other times it'll be like today. You think they've got it in the bag, and then they have a breakdown. But you know what? That's the game. It happens to every team. It happens to everybody. But that's it for now. Thank you so much again.